James Ernest, Grueling Truth Radio here with Keith Rucker of the NFL. Keith, tell us about your upcoming camp.
Well, we have an upcoming camp that we do annually here in Cincinnati. We do one in Chicago as well, but it is a free fundamental football and cheer camp for kids ages 6 to 14 years of age. We have a lot of the youth and high school area coaches come in, and they teach the kids fundamentals. We do everything from the kids play every position, get a chance to play every position on offense and defense, as well as play 7-on-7 games in the last hour each day of camp. And then our cheerleading is pretty much the same thing. The girls work on cheers on Saturday, and then they work on dance moves on Sunday. And then Sunday at the end of the camp, when we do Camper of the Day awards in each age group, the cheerleaders will get to perform what they've learned over those 2 days. So we kind of conclude camp with that cheer, send the kids for lunch, and then they're ready to go. So each day we do breakfast, lunch, and we give them a camp t-shirt, as well as I mentioned, we do Camper of the Day awards. And on the last day before they leave for lunch, they each get a medal placed around their neck on a ribbon by myself and my staff. We got a little completion of the camp.
Wow, sounds nice. And like you were saying, shoot, you've already got, 200 that have already signed up?
Yes, sir. We have 200 pre-registered, and the pre-registration is the word REACH, the number 4, thesky.org. And we have 200 pre-registered, and we usually have at least 100 walk-up registrations on the first morning. So we're looking at being anywhere from 300 to 400. Last 2 years, we've averaged about 400 campers at both locations in Ohio and in Illinois.
Excellent. So what days is this going to be on?
The camp is going to be on next week, Saturday and Sunday, which is May 27th and May 28th. And we're always looking for some good coaches to come out and help and volunteer their time. I actually have on Friday night, I do what I call an appreciation dinner, since all of the volunteer staff and coaches don't receive any pay. I have an appreciation dinner at my house on Friday night. Order all kinds of food and waters and sodas and soft drinks. And I also order pizza for any other coaches that need to bring their kids with them. And we kind of get together and meet for about 20 or 30 minutes just to go over the camp itinerary and make sure everything runs very smoothly on Saturday and Sunday. And then everybody just kind of mix and mingle and get to know each other. So when we arrive on Saturday morning, we're not seeing each other for the first time. So I do that. Our itinerary is the same at both locations. We do the same thing in Chicago. And it's a great get-together for guys every year as well. You know, the coaches get to sit around and X and O a little bit on Friday night. So it's a great time for all, especially for the kids.
So is your son going to be coaching at the event?
I don't know if he's going to be in town or not, but we are, because right now he's down in Atlanta. So I'm hoping he'll be there, but all of my other boys will. And as well, I will have a couple of my former players that I coached in high school who had went on to have great collegiate careers, and one of them actually won a Super Bowl championship with the Green Bay Packers. So he'll be coming out working with the kids as well as speaking. He'll be one of my guest speakers on Saturday. So we got a nice setup, and we're raring to go and ready to have some fun with the kids.
Sounds great. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a very educational opportunity for the kids to learn the game of football.
Absolutely. And, and along with the fundamentals that we teach them for the game of football, we also do a lot of life skill teaching. We talk to them about just doing the right things, making good decisions, and we talk a lot about academics, because nowadays we are facing a lot of situations where the kids want to watch the NFL guys, and they're going to the NFL and going to the NBA, but, they're not understanding that process. You have to take care of the academics. So the word student athlete is truly what it means in itself, and you have to be a student with the privilege to be an athlete, and we try to instill some of those values in the kids before they leave.
So, how'd you get started? Who influenced you throughout the years when you were coming up as a 6-year-old all the way up to high school?
You know, my biggest influences in my life, besides my mom and my brothers, were definitely my phys ed teachers, my football coaches. You know, I tell the kids all the time, I can name all of my football coaches from the time I was 6 years old up until present day. And one of the great pieces is when I go back to Chicago, which is where I grew up at, I usually have about 2 or 3 of my youth league coaches who come out to and they, you know, and I always tell them, just pull up a chair, I give them a t-shirt, let them hang out and walk around and see what we're doing. And they just love to see the product from which they invested in when I was a lot younger, and now I'm paying it forward and passing it on. And you know, a couple of the guys I coached in high school are starting to do camps. The older guys that are working the camp, they're starting to have their own camps now. Like the young man who I coached who won the Super Bowl championship, he actually is doing a camp up in Michigan. He's doing some stuff here in Cincinnati. And I have about 6 or 7 of my other high school players who, since they've been in high school, been helping with the camp. And every year they still come out. They go pick up the food for Friday night. They come out and unload the trailer for Saturday. And then on Sunday they help load the trailer, clean up. And, I mean, it's a true community experience and activity that we've built. And this is our 13th year. And as long as I'm around, you know, it's going to be a free camp because, you know, a lot of people can't afford those camps. A lot of the kids that I started this camp for are the kids that, you know, the low income families. And we turn no one away. However, that's what it was initially created for.
So, what originally inspired you to create the camp?
Well, I was working a football camp back in 2002 or 3 for a former NFL player, and I didn't realize that the camp was charging. You know, he sent the email out to come and work the camp, so I went to work the camp, and my first duty at the camp was to go stand in the parking lot and stop the traffic so the kids going from the parking lot up to the fields could make it across safely. So I was basically a crossing guard, and there was a van that pulled up, and it had 4 kids in it with an older gentleman. And one of the kids got out and ran up the hill. The other 3 went and parked the car with the older gentleman. And when he came back past me with those other 3 kids, my question to him was, you know, do these 3 not like football, or do they do some other sports or something? And that's when the older gentleman informed me, he's like, well, it costs $300 per kid. So there's no way I can pay for all 4 of them. So this one's going this year, the one that went up the hill, and then he'll go next year, and the next kid will go to next year. You know, and it really touched my heart. So I went home and told my wife, I said, I have to create some kind of experience for those 3 kids that couldn't afford to go to that camp. And so I started filing all my paperwork for my 501c3 and got my nonprofit status and did all the LLC and everything. And we started the camp the first year, which was 2004. We had about 60 kids and about 10 coaches, and 13 years later, we're averaging close to 400 kids, and, you know, 25 to 30 staff and volunteers. And now, you know, and for our camp in Chicago, we actually travel about 25 people from Ohio that works my camp to go there and do it. So, you know, I got to get hotel rooms there. I have hotel rooms here. I had a buddy of mine call me just this morning that I went to college with. He and his wife are going to drive up from Nashville to volunteer this year. So we have people coming from all over that want to be a part of something great for the community.
Definitely. I mean, it sounds like it's making one heck of an impact. Like you said, your former players are already coming back and helping out, and just, like you said, paying it forward. That sounds great. That's how it should be. That's awesome.
Absolutely. So we're very excited, and, you know, Reach for the Sky started, you know, from a little cloud of dust, and now it's a big cloud, and we're just trying to reach out to anybody we can and help as many kids as we can, because, you know, to get them out of the front of the TV, put the cell phone down for, you know, 3 or 4 hours each day for is I think helping them out and to teach them, that this can be a great vehicle to take you a lot of different places. It's been wonderful for me, wonderful for my kids. My daughter went to college on a full scholarship for basketball, and so did my son. So now we're 2 for 2 on scholarships, and with a very successful outlook on their future. And that's what being a parent is about for my wife and I.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going to say, I do some stuff with Bogarts, and they great organization. And what we'd like to do is donate you some concert tickets that you can give to those volunteers to show appreciation for what they do in the community.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure. We'll have to figure out somewhere to meet up so I can hook you up with them tickets.
Absolutely.
About how many do you need? You said you have, 30, 40 volunteers, you said?
At least, 30 to 40 volunteers. So, whatever number you can get is a great help. That would be awesome.
Excellent, because, I'm going to swing by there today. I already have some for one show, but they're supposed to be getting me a couple other shows. So, shoot, I will give you a call once I figure out what we got, what I get from them today. Sounds like a plan.
That would be awesome. I sure appreciate you, James, and this is what allows people to hear and know what's going on that may not have heard yet, but it's all over Facebook and Instagram, and we have a large web base that we send things out, send our invites and everything out to, and I appreciate your time and your opportunity to talk about the foundation.
Excellent. Yeah, I was going to say we're going to put that on the gruelingtruth.net and get the good word out there. Also, on the Grueling Truth, we have a Bengals show, so that way next season have you come on there, talk it up with Mike Goodpasture and Joe Kelly, and then that way more people hear about your organization. So before you go, what's the website again?
It is reachforthesky.org, so www.reach4thesky.org.
Excellent. Yeah, we'll get that information out there. That way, as many kids can participate in this camp as possible. Thank you, sir.
That sounds great. Yeah, we'll appreciate you, and we'll talk to you very soon.
Sounds great. Talk to you then.